On Last Comic Standing, the judges asked our next guest if what they saw was real or if he was playing a character. They'd never seen anything like Joe Machi.
He's unique, he's memorable, a talented writer, which means fans tend to quote him a lot. This is the first chance that fans in Omaha have had to see him live.
And Joe is here. Good morning, Joe. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
So what did you think when those
you.
judges asked you that? Is that the real Joe or is this a character?
Hurt my feelings, hurt me bad. It's not good when someone's like, hey, are you a real person? And they're the ones who are being serious. You don't want that.
Right.
You're like, no, this is just how I sound. This is just how I look.
Every cool person doesn't have to have a deep voice. You can be cool, you can be funny looking, be a great dancer. You know, I don't fit the stereotypes. I write the rules.
Joe, can I tell you my favorite thing is when you say team and gang, like when you address the audience that way. Like, I don't know why that makes me laugh on its own.
It's very substitute teacher-esque, but I like to have fun up there.
I do enjoy that.
But this is the real you, right? Is it that persona or this kind of personality that led you to comedy, to get up on stage? Or how did you get started?
I always wanted to do it, but you find out that it's a tough road to hoe because there's no set way to become a comedian. You have to basically go to New York or LA at some point, and that's kind of intimidating when all you see about New York is crime shows. just murder and death.
You were going
expensive
from
apartments.
Pennsylvania, so you were kind of close. I mean,
Kind of
a couple hours
close.
away.
I grew up in State College, so it's a good 4 hours. It's a good 4 hours.
Did you work in human resources? Is that a joke, or is that
no,
true?
I actually did work in human resources.
I never know if I'm watching an act if that part's true.
Sarcasm is lost on corporate America. I don't know if you.
I can imagine you in HR though, of all departments, to be a budding comedian.
No, and they couldn't either. And
Could you imagine going down to the hall and filing a complaint with this guy?
I'm like, don't fire anyone today. And sometimes they would, even though I asked them not to.
You're from State College. So are you a Penn State fan then?
I don't really follow college sports. I went to Penn State, but I'm not a big college sports guy. I know that this is Cornhusker country, and you're all proud of your sports matches. Well, I say
sports matches.
That's good for you guys. I just I like the pro sports. You know,
Yeah, right. No.
we know that they're getting paid.
Well, we know it in college now too. After the NFL draft, your show on, if I think about NBC, you had to keep it clean there. But when I look at your Twitter feed,
You're talking
that's
about Last
pretty.
Comic Standing, right?
Yeah. But your Twitter feed is really clean too. Are your live shows clean? Is that something that you're cognizant of?
There's a difference between clean and toeing the line. I like to toe the line a little bit. You can have fun with politics or social commentary without having to be dirty. I think a lot of dirty jokes are easy, and that's why I try to not write them.
Yeah. But with politics, you mentioned politics. Are you telling some stuff about? Are you talking about politics?
I talk a little bit about it, but not in a way. I try to do it in an evergreen way. This election's going to come and go, but there's deeper issues that you can usually talk about for a long time. I got stuff about. A lot's been made about the prison population, so you can make a joke about that, about how like maybe it's an apples to oranges comparison, because we have 2 million people in jail, but in China you disappear if you do something wrong, and that's keeping their numbers lower. And Saudi Arabia, you rob a store, they can chop off your arm, and that's keeping the numbers down there.
They're stacking the deck.
Yeah, so it's not really a fair
fuzzy math
comparison. Is what I'm trying to get at without being too graphic here on morning television.
What do you?
They say before you go on, no amputation stuff,
No
Joe.
amputation
Keep
jokes.
it clean.
Wouldn't that be funny if we had a sign on the door that really did read? What do you like about stand-up that's not, that itch isn't scratched by a television special or, because you've done all of that stuff too. What do you get from a live audience?
Oh, the nice thing about live audiences is mistakes happen and they can be good. When you see a television special on Netflix or a late night spot, it's been so sanitized, so gone over that you miss a lot of the fun parts of stand-up. It's almost like you're reciting a soliloquy or something. It's just boring.
So then have you had some crazy stuff that's happened during some of your live shows? Do you have any bizarre incidents, anything that stands out?
Sometimes they don't laugh. I know that's crazy. And
bizarre
sometimes they
stuff,
shout
right?
mean things at me while they're also not laughing. And it's like, sometimes it can be one person. Sometimes the whole crowd agrees before the show even starts that they're not going to laugh.
No, but even some of the funniest comics out there, though, have those moments where their jokes don't go over. How do you handle those?
I tell the audience that I'm smarter than they are, and that I pretend it's going
Insult them.
exactly as
Yeah,
planned.
insult them.
I didn't want you to laugh. That way they can't ever have that over me.
You've got 5 chances to see Joe while he's in Omaha. His first visit. We hope it's not your last. But
Oh.
in the event it is, go while you can. FunnyBoneOmaha.com. That's the website to get tickets. Or you can
Right.
call the number there to talk to a
And
person.
Joe's Italian too. Joe Machi, Italians Unite. Go see Joe.
It's
this
gonna be
weekend at the
great.
Funny Bone.
Get out of the way and
Excuse
let
me,
this
Mayor.
love fest roll.
Joe, thanks for coming,
Thank
buddy.
you, Joe.
Thank you so much for having me. I
Good to see
appreciate
you.
it.
A real pleasure to
Yeah,
meet you.
you betcha.
Thank
All right.
you.